And thank you for being here today, Carrie. And I am just very honored to have you give us some of your time to share with other people who might not know how to feel better, that there is a way to feel better. I got a couple questions for you, and then feel free to add anything in that you feel like. Does that work?
Sounds good. Yeah.
What was their obstacle that might have prevented you from working with me, or any other obstacles that you came across that took longer than you would have liked to start the healing process?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There were a lot of obstacles. Even though I knew about Marina for so long, I think one of the biggest ones for me as I was reflecting on it is just kind of over the years being like having it communicated that it was really just like, it's just in your head. You just have to eat. Like, stop being picky. Like, any sort of comment that was like, there's really no issue here. And yet, like, there's continued like a sense of like, okay, there's something that's not right. And I kind of internalized all that for so long and thinking like, I must have caused this problem or I am the problem. And I had had an eating disorder when I was very young that continued through a lot of my adulthood. And so I just figured, well, this is just more of that, right? Because that's what most people think. And all of that left me too embarrassed and ashamed really to reach out. So just having that narrative of like, you just need to eat, you had an eating disorder, you caused these problems, like you got to just stop and like figure it out. But last year, like I was really starting to wonder, like, is there something more going on than this just being like a choice, like, or just like a disorder, like mentally. And by the fall of this past year, I was down to eating like three foods, and not because I wanted to, but really I just was like, my body's not processing it. Like I want to have these foods and then I eat them and then it's just something is not right. That I was having tons of increasingly strange symptoms. But again, like really not voicing that to anybody because I was embarrassed. But the one person that I have always talked to without shame is Jesus. And so I kept praying about it. I even literally said one day, I was like, Jesus, do you want me to work with Marina? And finally, like his voice cut through like all the confusion and all the shame and was like, as soon as possible. Like he really like was like, take this step forward in faith. My older sister had worked with Marina, my brother, my younger sister, and they had had, cystic acne, autoimmune diseases, like other symptoms, and they had so much success. And still, I was like afraid to reach out. So, if anybody listening to this feels like they've been like just like, dancing around it for so long, or they feel like a lot of shame or embarrassment or have been dismissed by different doctors, like, I'll just share this briefly on this question. Like the first night I spoke with Marina, I was so nervous, like I almost canceled. And after I shared just a little bit of where I'd come from, she literally said, like, you did not cause this. Like, this is not your fault. And she was already identifying like systemic issues just based on some of what I described. And she did not dismiss me. She did not bat an eye. She didn't blame me. She didn't raise an eyebrow. She just affirmed like what I've been going through is real. And she also knew that she could help in like a deeper way. Like she could get to the root of a lot of the problems that I've been experiencing for so long. And after we hung up, I just bawled my eyes out because it was like so much relief, right? Like all this, build up to like asking for help. And so my encouragement is like, Marina will believe you and like you should trust her because from that night to now, it has not been a straight line, but she has been just like so steady in leading me to a place that I didn't think I could get to.
Oh, you're so incredible. I mean, I remember that conversation and the emotions in it, and I didn't know all of that backstory about, the hesitation and not being sure if this is the right move. And by gosh, I am so glad that you listened to the encouragement to move forward, because I mean, look at you now. So, question is, what did you find as a result to date from working together?
Oh, so many things. As you can hear from what Marina just said about like the body's ability to heal itself, her philosophy just makes sense from like if like, you have any basic grasp of biology or like remember anything from science class in school, like what she's describing, it's like whatever she's taught me makes sense. Like, for example, I really valued the lab testing that we did early on and all the detailed notes and explanations that Marina provided. Like, she didn't only analyze my lab results, which were very, very in depth on her own time, but she also spent an hour walking me through everything to help me understand really the severity of my situation, but in a way, like, without freaking me out. Like, she was just able to tell me, this is what's happening. And this is why it makes sense what you're experiencing, because here's what's going on inside of you. And then here's our plan of attack, like on all of those parts, but like on a really deep level. It wasn't going to be putting a band-aid on anything. And I would say another really great thing, aside from like her philosophy, which again, it's so biology based, is like her commitment to pacing this to keep your body safe. Like my body, and anybody who's listening to this, one of the first things is getting like the inflammation to come down. Your body's in distress mode, probably has been for a long time. And so Marina's really careful about like slowing down. I know myself and maybe a lot of Long Islanders, Americans, whatever, like we want to just like, how hard can I push? How fast can I go? How quick can the results come? But like, this is not like that at all. And that's a good thing. And I've been learning that from Marina's example because she's like, okay, you're still having such and such symptoms. We're going to slow down and we're going to slow down again and we're going to slow down again. And part of me is like, I don't want to slow down. I want to be better now, right? But trusting her and the process is the long term and most sure way of actually getting strong. And that's the word I keep coming back to now. I feel so much stronger. I was literally at the point of like falling apart last year and I'm not even 30 yet, right? Like, and I take care of myself. I've always eaten healthy. I exercise, try to live a balanced lifestyle, a positive lifestyle. And it's like my body was just giving up. And she has, because of her patient approach and her careful approach, has like allowed my body to get strong enough that then whatever next step we're going to take, my body's ready to handle it. So it's a really different approach than just like, here's a pill to stop the symptom. It's like, here's what we got to do to get you strong enough to, yeah, like tap into that God given ability you have to heal.
Exactly. Right on. I just want to bring up, can we do a little compare and contrast of things that you were eating
Yeah,
before you started and what you're eating now comfortably?
yeah, definitely. At my worst, I was having almost like I described it as pre-diabetic. I don't know that that's diagnosable, but it was like super blood sugar spikes. I was dizzy. I was having like black spots, like almost like zoning out. I was a teacher. I was like zoning out in the classroom in front of the class, which is not a good thing. And I was down to eating like roast chicken or grilled chicken plain, apples, and like tons of sun butter because like that's really all I could digest. I couldn't have oils anymore. Like I noticed I wasn't processing fat. I couldn't eat cheese. I couldn't eat burgers. And like just months or weeks before I was able to, and then slowly like it wasn't working anymore. Fast forward to now, it took a couple weeks, but she brought the inflammation down so much and has helped the like IBS symptoms so much with these very targeted supplements and a lot of like detox practices that are very simple to do. Now I've reintroduced not just chicken, but I've had venison, I've had bison, I've had lean beef, I've had turkey, I've had a lot of like carrots and zucchini and beets and roasted them with a little bit of olive oil. So roasted vegetables have been good. I'm eating fruits again, apples, oranges, blueberries, and probably some other things that I'm forgetting. So eggs just came back and fish, which like I haven't had those in years. And so yeah, part of me is like scared, but Marina's also really attentive to that too. If you've had so many negative experiences with food, it can be hard to sit down to a meal, or it can be hard to be in a social situation just from all those experiences building up. But Marina's also attentive to that like emotional aspect of it too. And there's stuff built into the protocol that helps you kind of be calm around food again and be brave enough to try again and have your body learn to trust that it can eat when, like you said, it's given the right support.
So many people come to me and they're unsure of working together because they don't want to have to change their diet too much. They say, well, I don't want to have to be so restrictive with what I'm eating. And I'll say, when you're feeling better, when your body's healing, you can eat so many more foods. And I only ever encourage people to avoid certain foods only if it definitely causes you to feel worse right away.
Right.
And then that's temporary. So the being like the ultimate evidence that your feeling better is the ability to add in these foods and tolerate them. Like the proof is there. That's it.
It's the opposite of being restrictive. Like I was restricting myself because I thought, well, I just have to keep tweaking food because clearly the food is the problem. But with Marina, it's the opposite, right? And now I'm eating so much more than I have in literally years, which is great.
Yeah. And I just want to bring about when you mentioned about the test and the results, how eye-opening that was because, we could speculate at our first appointment, okay, what's going on and what parts of your body need help. But once we got those results, like you said, we were able to really hone in, zero in on exactly what we needed to fix in order to allow your body to heal. So I just want to point that out because, like you said, it was instrumental to not only understand what's going on in your body, but to understand why we're doing what we're doing. And I think a lot of people agree that they enjoy learning. Well, this isn't all in my head. Like, here's the proof. Like, it's all here. And this is why I've been feeling this way. So, what are any specific features or other benefits that you found from working together?
Yeah, I guess we talked a little bit about the lab testing. I think maybe something I'll speak to is like, because I have a feeling maybe people are hung up on this, is like the investment, right? People always wonder about the price and things like that. And I am so genuine in speaking to this. I was a Catholic elementary school teacher for the last several years, last half decade, and things were really tight on that salary. But there's maybe two things that like were just very automatic for me to think about when thinking about investing in Marina's program. The first is like compare this to institutional medicine. Last spring, when I was growing increasingly worse with my symptoms, I did go to my GP and some blood work could be done. And sure enough, the blood work came back and she said, okay, something's up with your liver. Come back in 6 months. We'll check it out. And here's the names of some gastroenterologists. And I left the office and I was like, okay, I see how this is going to go. Like, I'm going to wait 6 months back. They're still not going to know what it is. I'm going to gastro. I have to tell them my problems. They're not working with my doctor. They're not treating the whole system. So I spend the next several months throwing money at this, continuing to spend money, at Whole Foods buying probiotics when I literally, like, as Marina has taught me, I can't handle probiotics yet. So you think all the money that you, like anybody listening or I, has already spent trying to test things on our own, or money that's spent doctor's office and co-pays or insurance or whatever. This allowed me to start immediately, not waiting around and getting nowhere and getting sick in calls. I don't know how you keep it all straight, Marina, with not just me, your clients. We have so many friends and family who like have a bazillion different supplements and powders and things, and they can like, come up. But Marie literally giving target, powerful, clean supplements that we just talked about, identify concrete issues of the entire system of the body. And the protocol is not one size fits all. Like she's taking it to you in real time based on what feedback you're giving her. Like, where else are you going to find such real support? If we try to self-diagnose or spend our money on like wellness marketed products, we really get nowhere. Marina has a plan and we just really have to follow it. And you don't even have to order a million pills. Like she's going to send everything to you that you need and she'll send you when you need a refill. So she's working so diligently to make sure everything's having the right effect. And if you just put your trust and patience into the process, like you're really, everything you put in is going to come back to you in leaps and bounds, not to mention like the education that she has on the platform and the traceable impact of everything that we do, and also just being so available like through the chat online. So
That's great. And a lot of people, another concern they'll come up with is, I don't have a lot of time to
mm,
help. I don't have a lot of time to heal myself or to work on this.
mm,
Can you speak to how much time you've invested, or how much, I don't know if how much time it requires to do this?
yeah, maybe my answer is a little unexpected just as it's coming to my mind. Maybe people want to hear like, oh, it doesn't take that much time. I would say like, how much time have you spent being sick? Like, think about it. Maybe it's only a couple months, but odds are it's been years or a lifetime. you have the time. And like, I've had to make some really big changes, and Marina has guided me through that. I had to leave my job because that was part of what was contributing to the severity of my symptoms. I had to move to a better environment, at least while I'm doing the protocol. And I've really had to learn kind of like a new lifestyle. So for me, it has been a big change. I'm not saying that'll be that way for everybody. And I've had to put a lot of things on pause that I was used to just kind of being my lifestyle, right? Going out with friends all the time and like, working until I'm exhausted, but I don't want to die, right? Like I really want to be well. I want to be strong. I want to live the next 30 years of my life. And I've seen the damage that our world can do, right? We live in a toxic world. We live in a world that doesn't really make sense in the lifestyle that we live. If you think of a holistic perspective or a natural perspective, the time that the protocol takes, in one sense it's effortless, right? You take the supplements, you listen to Marina, you learn what you got to do. Maybe you got to do like the sauna or the vibration plane or whatever sort of detox protocol there is. So in that sense, it's a couple minutes a day here and there throughout the day. But if there's bigger changes that you have to make, like don't be afraid to do it. She even said to me, well, some people have to sell their houses and move their families that, to get to a better environment or get to a better place. But like again, this does require faith. Like it's not, it is biology, but it also is a big act of faith. But you think about the two hand in hand. That's what real life to the fullest is, I think. And I think Marina thinks the same thing. Don't use the time excuse. Just don't do it. I don't know what else to say.
Another question, and I might know the answer to this, but would you recommend this program to a friend or family member? And if so, why?
Yes, I already have to many people. There's a lot of people who are seeking. I had a couple colleagues, as I was preparing to leave my job, asking me, who are you going to be working with? Because we have been struggling together for years, right? They have digestive issues and different things, or their children do as well. Close family who are like, who are you working with now? Because they've tried different doctors and the protocols like haven't really worked. And I'm like, Marina, she's amazing. So I've already recommended her and will continue to, yeah, just because like Marina was just describing, I think maybe one thing that, or two things that dawned on me. It's like, look at this as a beginning, right? Not as like, okay, I'm going to do this 6 months. Right? Look at this as a beginning of a new phase, a new chapter of like your entire life. And also look at it as a blessing because really like I'm blessed to be able to do this. Like you said, I really do feel like you took me by the hand because I was like, I don't know how to do this. She has the tools, she has the gifts, and it's a blessing to me that she's giving them, that she's so whoever's listening, like be blessed by her. Like let yourself receive the blessing that it is to work with her and see where it takes you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm getting so emotional.
I know.
I've got to say, most people who work with me are ones who've been referred by families or friends because family members or friends, I should say, because that's the best kind of experience. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? I mean, you've already said so much, so
I know, I don't want to chat too much, but yeah, I think just like so grateful, feeling strong already, so grateful that Marina is always addressing the roots of what's going on. So grateful that she like saw me and sees me and just paces me. And yeah, she looks at the whole picture and then makes it a better outlook to come. So
and you're like, I can't do this by myself. So you've really stepped up and taken the courage and the dedication, and I'm here with you. So like I said, we're gonna get to the point where you're feeling stronger than you ever have. And I'm excited and I'm honored to be that person, to be that guide. And I'm honored to have your trust, and thank you for this. Thank you for sharing this with other people.
yeah,
As you imagine, so many people go through years and years and years of feeling lousy. And this interview is really to help other people wake up and realize it's time to feel
you realize
better.
what's possible, right? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Marina.